U.S. official confirms that the U.S. is attempting to seize a Russian-flagged oil tanker linked to Venezuela after a two-week pursuit across the Atlantic. Russian President Vladimir Putin has sent Navy escort as U.S. plans to seize banned Venezuelan oil tanker. The operation, involving U.S. Coast Guard and military forces, is being carried out near Iceland, with Russian military vessels, including a submarine, reportedly nearby. The tanker, originally called Bella 1, had earlier evaded U.S. efforts to board it. This move could escalate tensions between U.S. and Russia, marking the first such attempt in recent memory. Now, for this discussion, we welcome back Mr. Sol Sadka. He's a political commentator, joins us live from Tel Aviv. Thank you very much, Mr. Sadka, for staying with us. Now that we know that a U.S. official has confirmed that U.S. Was trying to attempt to seize a Russian-flagged oil tanker linked to Venezuela, how do you think this will be unfolding, and how will this escalate tensions further regarding Venezuela, U.S. and Russia now?
Well, it's very, very interesting to see this. It was unclear a few days ago when Maduro was captured and taken away, and Trump explained that that meant that the USA was going to be essentially controlling Venezuela, how he intended to do that without boots on the ground. Now it looks like the plan is taking shape. The plan is essentially to turn Venezuela into an economic vassal of the United States. The United States will control who and to where Venezuela's vast oil reserves. They have the largest oil reserves in the world, where that gets sold to. And the capture of this ship, which is part of what they call Russia's shadow fleet, that has been used to evade sanctions on behalf of themselves, on behalf of Iran and Venezuela, who are all sanctioned in terms of their oil supplies because of their military actions around the world. They have been taken, if they're taking control of the ship, which is apparently involved in the trade of Venezuelan oil to bypass sanctions and to support the Russian axis, then that means that we now understand what Trump is planning. There will be no more exports of Venezuelan oil except to people that the United States approve, and through that the United States will essentially cut off Venezuela's supply of hard currency, except to the extent that it approves it. It's really kind of old-fashioned vassalage, imperialism. It's very interesting, and the effect on geopolitics could be huge, because Venezuela's oil is critical to the global supply, and is critical in particular to the dealings of the Russian axis. The Russian axis is going to be in dire straits if the United States really maintains what is essentially a naval blockade of Venezuela. If that's the plan,
Yes.
Trump plan for Venezuela is taking shape.
Mr. Sadka, like you said, now Venezuela might be turned to a U.S.'s economic vessel. If that happens, how will this change the whole trajectory of oil trade in the whole world?
It's hard to say immediately, but what we can see is that it will certainly, if the Americans take control of Venezuelan oil with a view to pushing down the price and making the grey market for sanctioned oil more difficult for the people trying to engage in it, and therefore less worthwhile, because anyway the price is going to be higher because of all the various complications. That makes things very difficult for Russia, because like Venezuela, the only way it's able to fund its war in Ukraine, which in approximately a month will be going into its 5th year, a war for Russia that is longer than World War II, with 1 million men dead, and their economy tanked and their sovereign wealth denuded to the point of almost being gone. The only way they're going to be able to continue this is by economic stability. And if the Russian oil economy is kaput, then Russia will also be kaput shortly afterwards.
With that,
So it could be that Trump's dealings in Venezuela recently are part of a much broader game, the goal of which is bringing an end to the war in Ukraine by stripping Russia of its ability to make money.
Thank you for highlighting that and staying with us throughout our news, Mr. Sol Sadka. Thank you very much. Now we move on to Asia. Bangladesh is actively exploring